food chef here, and I'm so excited to introduce to you somebody brand new that probably most of you have not met her, and she's awesome. Her name is Meryl Gwinn. Meryl Gwinn. She sees a plant-based diet with raw and living, colorful foods as a way to reconnect with nature, live out our full potential, and experience a healthy and vibrant life. She's a yoga teacher with a BS in kinesiology, with her background in nutrition and experience in the kitchens around the globe. Her passion is to bring a simple, highly energetic food to the table, and she has access to amazing gardens where she lives. And when I told her it was our garden edition, she said that she was going to put together something really fun that we could do with our kids with some produce. So everybody please welcome Meryl.
Thanks for having me, Dottie. I'm super grateful to be here. I think this is working. Yeah, I'm the raw food chef for the day, and I'm really passionate. I'm really passionate about using plants and raw food specifically to cure disease, to reset our systems to the optimal place where we should be operating from. And I think it's so great that Dottie is doing what she's doing, and for me to be here today, because I often think, you know, if I knew a lot of this stuff and if this is how I ate as I was a child or even as a teenager, I would have probably saved like millions of dollars at CVS or just on all these products that I thought, you know, was a process or a product of what I was doing externally, but really it's all happening internally. Right now I'm working with clients to use raw food and a plant-based diet to cure a lot of disease. So I have 2 cancer patients right now. I run a cleanse as well, and I've had people be able to fully get off their medications that they've been on for years by moving to a anti-inflammatory diet and a living food diet. So what I feel, if you have anything to take away from this demo, would be life fuels life. So if it makes sense, you know, you're eating food that is alive and vibrant and vibrational. It also contains, like our juice guy said, all of its essential vitamins and minerals. And so you're fueling your life with more life. And it's a beautiful thing. It really takes you back to a place where you feel amazing. You know, you wake up in the morning, you feel clear-headed, you get great sleep, and you're suffering a lot less from little, you know, whether it's inflammation or small allergies. It can help everyone so much, and I think it would be incredible to start kids on the idea of eating in this way. So I wanted to introduce just some easy things. I have something sweet and something savory. The first thing I'm doing is a raw cauliflower popcorn. Okay, so cauliflower is like the vegetable oddity, I believe, and so I wanted to introduce this. It's also the next most high vegetable in vitamin C after all the citrus fruits. So it's super high in vitamin C, super high in vitamin K, even beta carotene. It's anti-inflammatory, it's a cruciferous vegetable, so it's aiding in all these great medicinal ways. I think that, well, this recipe is specifically kid tested, so I can say here that it works. I'm also going to use, so what I did here is I just took a head of broccoli and chunked it up into little pieces, so just by cutting out the stalk and breaking it up. And ideally I would be doing this in a bowl, but for traveling purposes we're doing it in this plastic. We're going to reuse the plastic later. And so what you're adding here is just a couple, per head, a couple tablespoons of olive oil, a really nice cold pressed organic olive oil. So high quality oil there is really important. The next thing I'm going for is nutritional yeast. Do any of you guys know about nutritional yeast? Cool. So this is, especially in the raw food diet, like a substitute for cheesy flavor. It's really savory. It's really high in protein and also all of the B vitamins. So if you're on a vegetarian diet, it's where you're going to get a lot of your B vitamins from, including B12, which is normally just an animal-based B vitamin. So this is going to add a little bit of a cheesiness to the scenario. And then a little bit of the pink Himalayan sea salt, so super high mineral salt. And I bet you might be thinking, like, what is going on, you know? But we're just going to toss it or throw it around here in this plastic bag. And the flavors come together in such a nice way that the cauliflower is very edible raw in its raw state. And normally, you know, you might not come to be eating cauliflower raw. it's really nice baked as well, but when we eat raw, we're preserving all the enzymes, allowing our digestive system to really get all the nutrients out of the food, and thus it being less taxing on the body. So it's as simple as that. A couple shakes might add a little bit more nutritional yeast. Do we want to go ahead and pass around what's already made, or maybe I can have an assistant? Is it you?
Yes.
Okay. So if you want to, and I made this all this morning, so it's nice and fresh. Yeah, just kind of spoon a little bit maybe onto a nice serving spoon here. So I welcome any questions too, if you guys have them while we're going. Has anyone had this particular little bite before? Awesome. I think that you'll like it. Let's see, I wonder what the best way to do this is. She left with the plates. Well, you have the plates.
Yeah, I'll do the back thing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that'll come around. The next thing I have going on is who has had the, yeah, did you have a question?
I have a quick question about the cauliflower.
Yeah.
So I always hear different things about if like you have like an autoimmune Hashimoto's type of thing, like cruciferous vegetables and stuff, and then being that you're in the raw living, which I do love a lot of that. I'm very cautious of that with my condition, but what is your experience with, if you have clients that have that condition?
Yeah, and there's a lot of debate, like you said. So she's talking about the debate on whether cruciferous vegetables it can affect the thyroid or not as in their raw state. And I personally am not signed up for that attitude, and only because I have had clients that haven't had that scenario. However, I think the best idea is to listen to your body, because I think, and just through research as well, that plants and innately, I believe that plants really are a medicine, and they do want to work with your body to create, you know, the most optimal state for you. And so, you know, I would perhaps try like a where you're taking out, you know, the cruciferous vegetables, and then maybe try to add them back in again, and to see if you're feeling those kind of symptoms, because there's so much debate about it that I can't speak personally from having the experience of that, but I would listen to your body and maybe see how that goes. Yeah, I don't have any specific research on that either, but I do know as well that the cruciferous vegetables are the highest vegetables in fighting cancer and free radicals in the body, and so and they're also very high in vitamin C, which is a big proponent in fighting cancer cells. So yeah, it's almost like a double-edged sword. So sorry I couldn't answer your question more thoroughly there. The next thing, yeah, you know, and I just think that nature is perfection in its own way, and so I think that when you're adding pure nature into your body, that it does want to help, you know. So that's my take on that, I guess. The next thing I'm going for, has anyone had the raw cacao pudding with avocado? Yeah. Okay. So I love this dish because it's so easy to trick your kids into a dessert in this way. So the base of this pudding here is avocado. And the next most important ingredient is cacao. Cacao is a superfood. It's a raw chocolate. It comes from the cacao bean. It's unprocessed, unheated, unrefined, and there's no sugar in it. It's also a super high source of protein and a lot of antioxidants. It has theobromine in it, which is a natural, almost like an antidepressant. It helps with inflammation as well, and the theobromine is a mild stimulant. So it's a natural, unaddictive, if that's a word, stimulant. And so it's going to give you a little bit of a boost, so I wouldn't eat it too much in the evening times, especially if you're sensitive. But it's a great superfood. It's grown and indigenous in South America, where a lot of our superfoods come from, and I'm a big fan of it, especially as a chocolate replacement. And if you want it to be sweetened, you can use these other natural sweeteners to boost the sugar in it, because it is a little bit tart, I guess. So in the chocolate cacao pudding, and it's raw as well, so this is wonderful. We're getting all the enzymes and nutrition from every piece of food that we use. I have the avocado. I'm going to put it in the food processor. I have 2 avocados, in fact. I'm going to put about a half cup of the raw cacao in it, and you guys are welcome to come and check out the products as well. I also have the raw coconut, cold pressed coconut oil, virgin, and nicely bottled in a glass container, because I find that, you know, the food manufacturers that go all the way with their products, right, like bottling them in glass and using less plastic, I think really have the best intentions out there. So I like to go for those products. So I have about a tablespoon and a half of the coconut oil. In this cacao pudding right here, I use dates and raw honey as a sweetener. So, you know, you can choose a lot of the sweeteners in the raw foods can be the dates, which is the natural fruit, and then the raw honey is raw and local honey as well, is really beneficial for allergies and is its own medicine. And then here I'm using the maple syrup, which I think is really the best for the cacao pudding. And I'm going to add just about 1/3 of a cup of this, a dash of organic vanilla extract, and my most favorite thing is fresh homemade almond milk. I really encourage you to make your own almond milk, just because it's so delicious and free of anything that's coming as it's boxed and processed, and you just know that you're getting an excellent product there. So, oops, it was unplugged maybe. Okay. No, it was just totally unplugged. Got the water back. So, yes. Say again? Yes, so the base is 2 avocados, and I'll give you the proportions for this recipe. 2 avocados, 1/2 cup of cacao powder, 1/2 to 1 cup of almond milk, 1/3 of your sweetener, or perhaps about 7 to 10 dates, a dash of vanilla, did I miss anything? 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and then you're also free to add, you know, delicious things like cinnamon or. And there you have it. You might try it.
When you said 1/3 sweetener, did you mean like 1/3?
1/3 of a cup.
Oh, 1/3 of a cup.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be maple syrup or dates? Or
maple syrup or honey, a nice quality honey, or the dates. And there it is. It's a couple minutes. I think it's great because I do believe too that cacao helps with, well, not only do I believe, but it is proven too that cacao helps with chocolate cravings. And it also helps you with your cravings in general. You know, the more you're eating the high quality plant-based ingredient that is also delicious, the less you're going to crave this intensely sweet, you know, non-food. So, because non-food really creates this craving for non-food, and we have so much of that and packaged and available to us, and it's very convenient. But I like to show with the raw food and ingredients or recipes like this that it really can be easy, and it's a little bit of an adventure too in the kitchen. You know, it's like you're this little scientist in the kitchen. You've got all these new ingredients, and it's fun to incorporate, and kids like it. So, yeah, that's what I have for you today.
Awesome.